ladies. Happy Thursday. So today I am bringing you the top 10 blocks to consistent cash flow. And maybe you've seen this, maybe you've had this issue in your life, in your business, but I want to make sure that we understand if there's any way that we are holding ourselves back, which is super, super common. So just know as I'm going through these things that you are not alone, but I would love to dig even further and deeper into the ones that are really holding you back. So as I go through them, I'm going to be giving them a number 1 through 10. Just put in the chat what number you are struggling with, and you can put in all of them if that's an issue for you. And then I will address them next week. So right now is the kind of information gathering stage and just kind of letting you know what is, holding ourselves back. What are we doing? Is there anything that we are doing to not allow full and consistent cash flow into our business? So the number one thing so many of us women deal with is analysis paralysis. And I just laugh at this one because I've really dealt with this one for a long time. And analysis is a very important skill, but we can definitely get carried away with too much research, too much consumption, learning, but not taking action. So research a little bit, analyze a little, and then actually do something. That's really the way that we learn the most, is from taking action. You can always modify as you go, right? So one thing about being an entrepreneur is you're building the plane as you're flying it. And, it's okay. It might feel a little scary, probably not something that you've done before, but we can do it, and we can do it together. Hi, Lorraine. So fun to see you on here. Number 2, let me know if you're having issues with this one. The second block to your cash flow is just too many ideas and not enough or no plan. So if you are an entrepreneur, you likely have a ton of ideas. You're super creative, and that's a really good thing. But it can also make it really hard to focus. Right? I've definitely been here for almost all of these because it can make it harder to have one plan and execute on a particular strategy and keep going until completion. And so that's really important, where you have a coach, someone holding you accountable, a team, an accountability buddy, maybe someone who you've gone through a program with or coaching that can just be checking in, because this is a tough thing for us to do on our own. Hi, Jennifer. So good to have you here. Okay, so let me know if you've ever dealt with too many plans or too many ideas and no plan. Number 3, the third block to cash flow is indecisiveness. So who has any issues around that? A wrong decision is actually better than no decision at all. At least with the wrong decision, you're getting results, you're getting feedback. And that's what we're looking for, right? We take action, we adjust as we go. So whether it's a good result or a result that you don't want, it's all just kind of like a giant science experiment. We're getting still information, and we're gonna let it inform how we act next time. It gives us feedback, and that is still progress. So if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay exactly where you're at. However, if you do make decisions, then things will start to move. But indecisiveness is one of the top blocks to cash flow. So if you've ever dealt with indecisiveness in your business, put a 3. Number 4, the fourth block to cash flow is procrastination. So when we're procrastinating, it usually means that there's something that we don't understand. And if you're really honest with yourself and you know yourself well, it's about understanding, is there something behind here that scares me? If I just had to take a guess, what is around this thing that scares me the most? So Brian Tracy says, if you have to eat a frog for breakfast, there's no use putting it off. If you put it off, you suffer for longer. If you suffer all day long because it's in the back of your mind, you know that you still have to get it done, and it causes your heart palpitation. If you have to do something difficult or scary, do it first thing in the morning. So he has great advice around this. I love this. If there's one thing that I really don't want to do, I put it as the number one thing on my list, and I'm not going to let myself do anything else that day until I can cross it off. So if I procrastinate, if there's other things that I want to get to, if I want to check in with you guys, give encouragement in my group, be checking in with my clients, I can't do that until I get this one thing done, because I will find other things to do that will stop me in my tracks. And it's really going to boost your confidence and reduce your stress for the rest of the day if you can get that one thing off your plate. Okay, number 5. Let me know if you have an issue with this one. This is a little bit different, but it's called rationalized procrastination. Because this is when we come up with excuses that seem so valid that they're hard to deny. So this is an example where you're just like, yes, my yoga class starts in 10 minutes, but that means by the time I get everything together and I park and I get in there, then I'm going to be late and then I'm going to disrupt everyone, so I probably shouldn't go. And you think you're making a really rational decision. You think you're being logical, but it's really just a disguise of another form of procrastination, and is still preventing you from getting what you really want, because then in a few hours you're probably still going to be beating yourself up for not going to yoga. So let me know if that has ever been an issue for you. Hey Chrissy, yeah, the replay will be there. Number 6 is self-sabotage. So really all of these are a form of self-sabotage, but this one is interesting because I've heard it say that there's no such thing as sabotage. That actually what we're doing, there's a very good reason why you're not doing it. And there are places that we stop ourselves. And, a lot of the times I have been there too, but maybe you're doing a launch and there's products and there's tech and there's funnels and, they're just complicated. And so when, you're starting something new, or when you're starting a coaching business, there's so much that you need to learn that sometimes you can just go into overwhelm. And that's how I will sabotage myself, or, basically stop ourselves. So we're just going to say, oh, I'm just so overwhelmed that I can't think clearly. And yes, there are seasons, there are times that you just need to rest. Don't ever stop, but you definitely do need to rest. But this is where, again, a coach, another accountability person, just getting outside perspective can come in and be helping you figure out things that you might just be living in your head, these things that keep coming up and you just can't figure out on your own. So it's not something bad to reach out for help to a coach, to a friend, an accountability buddy. Just know that these are tough spots to stay in by yourself. 7 is disorganization. So being disorganized can be very draining, and it can just be really, really hard. And if a lot of times if our external world is disorganized, it also affects our brain's inability to stay organized on the inside. So, and if you're, like me, I cannot work in just a mess. I will sometimes have to just organize my desk and my room before I can actually sit down and think. Otherwise, there's always this thing over here saying, I need to, work at this thing over here. And we don't want anything to distract us from what we need to be focusing on when we have that time. Maybe it's 20 minutes a day, in between homeschooling the kids. I know a lot of you are just trying to work this in the nooks and crannies of your life, and that's okay. But as much as you can, just take all that external chaos and clutter and disorganization, and when you do have moments to address it, go for it. There's also a great training that I might do at some point called the $1 Million Day, I believe. There's a book around this, but I can help guide you as far as how to get past all that clutter and disorganization. So if that's something you feel like you would need, let me know that too. So if you have ever had any difficulties with disorganization or clutter, even in your home, your closet, whatever it is, put a number 7. Okay, number 8 is not taking consistent action. So this one's probably pretty self-explanatory. One of the keys to success as an entrepreneur is just keep taking action. Just keep going. And I know we've said this before, but the future is just a bunch of right nows that are piled on top of each other. So taking consistent action, just one step at a time. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. If you are a person that likes control and likes to see, I know I need to get from here at A, but I really want to get to Z, and you need to know every single step, like that is most likely going to overwhelm you. Right now, all your focus needs to be on step A to step B, and then let it go. Everything else, just let it go. Then from B to C, and just keep taking the next right step. The Lord's going to provide. He's going to be with you for all of that. So let me know if not taking consistent action. Put a number 8 if you are feeling like that has ever been an issue for you. Number 9 is what I just started expanding on, is that need to be in control of everything. And you might feel like you really need to do this, but as an entrepreneur, we have to let go of that control or we're going to drive ourselves crazy. This is one of the most challenging things around building our business, is just knowing that we can't always control the outcome for how everything is going to turn out. And you'll find, that later on, the more you work at this, the more you build a team, maybe you hire a VA, that things are going to go wrong, and that's okay. And, it makes me even feel better when I'm seeing other friends or people on Facebook really be honest and vulnerable and authentic about not everything going perfect in their business, because that's just not the way it is. So if that has ever been an issue for you, put a 9 in the comments. So last one, the last big block to consistent cash flow is paralyzing perfectionism. This is the truth. Whatever you're putting out there can always be better or more perfect or more ready. Like always, always, always. If you are going to wait to put it out there until it's perfect, you're going to have issues. But you can still do this. Anytime you find yourself justifying why you can't flip it around, focus on how you can. Just notice when any of these 10 blocks are coming up for you, flip them around and make the decision really, truly just to take action. So hopefully this just brought into awareness a little bit more of the mindset of what could possibly be holding you back in regards to consistent cash flow. And I would just love to hear from you guys. So post here below, which of these 10 blocks do you experience? And I heard, Lorraine's comment. She's like, I think I'm experiencing them all. But if there's really big ones here, put it in there. I would love to be able to help address this with you and just help you change, right? And just know that you can take action. You can make that decision to be like, okay, yes, I realize this has been an issue in the past, but I'm not going to let it hold me back anymore. So, thanks you guys for being here. Looking forward to seeing all the numbers. We'll see which one is kind of the most common and which ones really need to be addressed. So, thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.